Come on, 49er faithful, let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
We gotta do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49er mind. It's 49er mind.
We gotta get that brick by brick real quick.
49er mind.
Yeah, yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49er mind.
We from the Bay.
49er mind.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49er mind.
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49er mind.
Oh yeah, freak out, yeah, I'm looking right into the video scope, and this is Macho Man, #1 Macho Man impersonator, past, present, future, yeah, and I'm here to tell you, you are watching 49er Minded with Bashar, yeah, the cream of the crop, dig it?
Ooh, yeah, brother. San Francisco 49ers are in the NFC Championship game, brother. Yeah. That was my wrestling voice for you guys. Kind of like a Macho Man / Hulk Hogan voice in between. Let me say what's up to some people in the chat. Thank you, guys. Welcome to another edition of 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. And who do we have here in the chat? Let's go. Let's see who we got here. We got Waruna Pereira. Says, hi, all. He's an all 49ers at Sports Illustrated writer for their website. Definitely check him out. And he's my bad. Waruna's also with the No Border Sports podcast on YouTube. Subscribe to their channel. We got a newcomer here is Paso Aguirre. Says it's 49er Minded. Thank you. What's up, dude? How you doing? 49er Chanel says, what's up, Faithful? How's it going? We got Raphael 56249 says, hello, Faithful. And he says he'll be at the game. And I got my song called Who's Going to the Game. So that's for everybody who's going to the game. I wish I was going to the game. I'm not going to be there in spirit. But for all you guys going to the game, that's why I put the song out. And we got to get this. We got to win this NFC championship so we can head right to the Super Bowl. We got Don Suave says, woo woo, 49er Minded. What's up, Caesar? It's my boy from Twitter. I just ran into this dude the other day on Twitter. Says, who's going to the game? What's good? What's good? Hey. Area 49er says, yes, sir. And again, we got Young Creeper over in El Paso, Texas, repping the Niners like crazy. Great dude. And without further ado, we have a great guest all the way from an East Coast 49er fan, that is. And we're going to bring him on right now. What's going on, John V? How you doing?
Good to have, man. It's good.
I kind of sound like I'm from the East Coast now. How you doing? Well, people think I'm, they look at me and they either think I'm some East Coaster, or they think I'm Italian or Greek or whatever, anything. I'm Middle Eastern, but they don't think I'm from California for whatever weird reason. It's kind of funny, But great to have you on, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
And I really, really appreciate it because I know you were, I know you run a business and you were, Fridays are hectic for you, but I totally appreciate you coming down. I like the background that you got there too, man.
Than's, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Man,
yeah. So
Niner talk, man.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. So I did put the link for those of you guys who don't know John V. I met him recently on Twitter, and we joined the Twitter Spaces, and he's been on Wayne Breezy's show, good buddy of mine, and he has his own podcast of his that he does, and I put the links for it. So he'll tell you about his YouTube channel in just a second. Just clue everybody in on about your YouTube channel and your podcast, what you guys do.
So I do a podcast with two of my best friends, a Browns fan, a Bills fan, and I'm a 49er fan. And we just chop it up. We talk the league. We talk about our respective teams. I cover the Niners. 49er Chanel, good to see you. I cover the Niners. My friend Tony covers the Bills, and my friend Nick covers the Browns. And we just keep it real, man. We chop it up. We have, they follow my team, I follow their team. So, it's good talking. It's good conversation, and we have a good time doing it. And we get wild, man. We get kind of crazy. That's why we call it the Locker Room Rant. The
Locker Room Rant Sports Talk, I believe it's called, on YouTube. Definitely check it out. This guy is full of energy. He's a hardcore 49er fan, dedicated to the Niners, and that's why I had him on. And so now I know you're not from California, not from the Bay Area, and you live in Ohio. Have you always grown up in Ohio? Is that where you grew up, pretty much? Or?
Yes. Born and raised right here, just outside of Cleveland. Ohio, yeah, that's it, man. Just I'm Greek by ethnicity, so I visit the homeland when I can.
Oh, okay. Look at you. I told you wasn't born there. I was born in Iraq, the Middle East, but at one point in time, I actually lived there en route to before I came to America for about a year or so. So definitely, I have a connection with Greece without a doubt. I love the people, love the food, love the culture, and it's. You guys aren't Middle Eastern, but you guys do have some things that are similar to us. Would you agree?
Oh man, the culture. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I love the culture, man. You can't beat it. I actually indulge in any culture that I can.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Traveling outside of this country. I mean, I love the States. Don't get me wrong, but I love to get out of here and check out the rest of the world when I can. That's just something I enjoy, bro.
Mm-hmm. And I was gonna say the only thing about my culture, it's in terms of like mingling with people from my culture who haven't been in America too long. It's like when you bring up the whole football conversation, it doesn't go anywhere. It's just like at least on my end, It's like okay, hang on. Oh, we got to talk about the other football, soccer. Oh yeah, I get it. Yeah, and I know something about soccer here and there. It's the first sport I actually play, and I'll watch the World Cups and every now and then.
I love talking soccer, bro.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
So I'm not an expert at soccer, but I can understand it to a certain aspect, and I've watched it enough. So tell me, how did you become a 49er fan all the way in Ohio? How did it happen?
So where I live in Ohio, bro, just 25 minutes from where I live is the Pennsylvania border with Ohio and Pennsylvania. So it's Browns fans or it's Steeler fans, and that's really it. I became a 49ers fan when I was a kid. I had an older cousin that I looked up to, and he was a diehard 49er fan. He's almost 10 years older than me, but I loved watching the games and watching all of him. Like he and his friends would go wild, bro. They would go crazy for the team. And the Niners were good in the 90s. So when they won, I was there. I was watching. I was with the family, and everybody was going crazy. And for whatever reason, bro, it drew me to it. Like look, when you're a kid, you're a front runner, right? You're a front runner. You just love whatever team is hot right now, and you're born into that, right? If you adopt that if you're a front runner and you adopt it and you ride with it for the rest, I'm almost 40 years old. So I've taken that. I never differ. I mean, that didn't change for nobody. 49er fan through and through. People would always be like, "You're not a 49er fan. You're a Browns fan." I'm not a Browns fan. I'm a 49er fan. I love this team. I love the culture. Not too far from me out here, bro. Eddie D has his headquarters.
Youngstown, Ohio.
Yes, sir. He's got a great big SF, right? The San Francisco logo is on the office building, and it's awesome. It's unique if you're a 49er fan because this is nothing but Browns country. So when you can find your logo here in Ohio, it's just incredible, man, and it's a good feeling. And I love it, man. I admire that building, and
the whole thing about being a front runner. I mean, once you adapt to a team, but when you stick with it throughout the years, the passion becomes real, And we have faced our bad seasons and our crappy seasons where easily one could have walked away and say, "Hey, I'm so used to winning in Super Bowls and Joe Montana, Steve Young, this Dennis Erickson crap. What am I doing here? I can't be a Niner fan anymore." Somebody could have easily walked away when we first started experiencing losing. I mean, I became a Niner fan. My brother kind of, influenced me. You could say, God rest his soul, but when I became a Niner fan, I was spoiled. Again, it was the late 80s. Montana was still there. Rice was still there. And we were just walking into winning back-to-back Super Bowls. So, hey, I got spoiled early on, but hey, I've stuck with it all this time. So it's great to hear from different 49er fans. And we do got some new people popping in. A really good buddy of mine who's been a guest on the show actually just hopped in. Corey says 49ers need to pound the rock, hit Stafford early and often, and win the battle of the trenches. Let's go. Yes, sir. I'm a big fan of what goes on in the trenches, and they say what's up front is what counts. So hopefully that happens in this game and we win the trenches because we need to. And let me see who else is here. Okay, we got Jimmy G's biggest supporter Prius game in the house, and me and him have gone back and forth a lot about Jimmy G. We know each other in real life, actually, but it is what it is. We're never going to see eye to eye about that guy. It is what. If you see my past shows, you'll know what I'm talking about. But let me ask you this though: since you, I'm assuming you've gone to some Niner games. Is that true?
Yes, yes. I
Okay.
try to catch them as close as I can.
Okay.
To the
So
coast here, so I
okay.
have, yes.
My next question is, what was your first experience going to a 49ers game? What was it like, and where was it?
So it was in Pittsburgh some years back, and I'll tell you what, man, I was booed out. I mean, not booed out of the stadium, but booed near and around, the entrance and into the visitor section. Look, man, it's hard to be a 49ers fan outside of the West Coast. Anywhere I go, Indianapolis, wherever you go, man. But if you're in Cleveland or if you're in Pittsburgh and you're a 49er fan, they don't take well to it. They don't even, I mean, they're going to be hard on you if you're a visitor regardless, but a 49er fan just does not sit well with the locals. And I could never understand it. I never could understand it, bro. It was always like, even like where I work in my business, like I'm even closer to the Pennsylvania line. So there's even more Pittsburgh Steeler fans and they're just like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? And I'm like, bro, I'm a 49er fan, and that's just how it is. And I faced it my whole life, even in school. Like kids are wearing like, Bengals gear, Browns gear, Steelers gear, and then you got your Dolphins fans and some Philly fans and stuff like that. But bro, I've been taking it for my whole life, man. They just don't. It's not that they don't respect the Niners. It's just that they just don't. It just doesn't sit well. Like we don't live here. Like what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? It's weird for them. But hey, man, I adopted it.
Well, there's sure is a hell amount of freaking Pittsburgh Steelers fans in California ever since that Ben Roethlisberger era came around. So yeah, it's kind of funny. I'd be kind of, and then again, I'll hop on some sports bars. I used to like I'm like, where are the Niner fans at? Because I'll see like a big table like Steelers fans and see a big table of Patriots fans. I'm like, wait, this place, because I used to go to Dan Buns' sports bar in Roseville, which is where I live in Roseville. And if you know who Danny Buns is, he made that goal line tackle to save the game on the goal line stop in the first Super Bowl that we had against the Bengals, a former linebacker. Never got to meet the guy, but I used to go to a sports bar. I think it was after he sold it, though. But yeah, one time I went there, it was like 3 or 4 years ago before the place shut down. And I'd see these fans from other fan bases huddling around, and me and a couple other dudes wearing Niner stuff. But, Niner, and a lot of these Niner fans just stay at home. They don't do big gatherings all the time. Mm-hmm. But I was spoiled because I was born and raised not born, but raised in a 49er area, obviously, Bay Area. So, not everybody gets to, be walked right into the 49ers where they're from. But, I really, really appreciate, at the same time, I totally appreciate 49er fans from other states. And I was almost oblivious to at one point in my life. I didn't realize that the 49er fan base was so huge outside of California. And then from my experiences, like even going to 49er games at Candlestick, like I met like Niner fans from Germany. I met a whole bunch of them from Germany and the UK, and there's all these chapters all over the world. And I totally appreciate all these Niner fans from all over the world, man. The Niner Empire is worldwide. Now, have you been to What's that? What's your biggest regret?
Yeah, bro, I was just gonna say it.
Oh, you never went to Candlestick, huh?
No, and it hurts my heart, bro. It breaks my heart, man. It's one of my biggest regrets, and I could say that to you confidently.
Yeah, that was definitely gonna be my next question. It's too bad you didn't go. But hey, you said you went to. I've never been to away games. Yeah, I've been to away game.
Well, you just try to catch up with them anywhere you can. You know what I mean? If they're coming this way, you got to try, man. You got to try. Like the Pittsburgh Stadium and First Energy in Cleveland. They're close enough to where you have no excuse. If you're a Niner fan, you go. You just go.
So where else have you caught the Niners at then, other than Pittsburgh? Any other places?
Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Indy.
Okay, what was your most memorable Niner game that you attended then? How about that?
Well, probably. Oh man, it was 2010. We lost, but it was brick cold, bro, in Cleveland, and it was raining and it was cold, and
Mike Singletary's last year coaching. Yeah.
It wasn't a memorable, to be honest with you. I think the last two in Pittsburgh, Kaepernick, we got beat by Pittsburgh in 2016, the last time we played Pittsburgh, because we haven't played them. We didn't play them when we bounced back from that Pittsburgh game. was that in Pittsburgh the last time we played them, or did they come to Santa Clara?
Oh, last time we played Pittsburgh Steelers, that was in Santa Clara.
Okay, yeah. So the last time we played Pittsburgh, bro, they were like, it wasn't like just seeing the team for me was everything. I really both the Cleveland matchup and the Pittsburgh matchup, we lost both. And they weren't even close. So it was during some downtime, bro. Like, but my most memorable was just trying to get an autograph, but just not, man. Like just Pittsburgh fans were just not letting me in.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks. I had a question though. Maybe this hasn't happened yet, because I was going to ask you if you ever had any cool experiences meeting any 49er players.
I got an opportunity to shake the hand of Anquan Bolden. I didn't have anything at the time, to have him signed, but he was just doing some rounds out there in Pittsburgh where they were having, like, after the game, he was just kind of chopping it up, man. And at the time I had a Carlos Hyde jersey on, because I'm a huge Buckeye fan. So I was trying to get Carlos Hyde, but I mean, he was just nowhere to be found. But Anquan was awesome, dude.
That's cool. I never met the guy, but I could just imagine him being a cool guy, just seeing the way he carries himself, dude, on TV.
Yeah, dude.
And I know he's done a lot of stuff for the community. So yeah. I wish, honestly, I remember Anquan Bolden his rookie year with the Arizona Cardinals, and right off the bat, I was just thinking, this guy looks like he'd be great in a 49er uniform. What do we do? How do we not draft this guy? Lo and behold, we got him years later, the tail end of his career. But he still did excellent. He played excellent for us, though. Despite his age,
I still just don't see that kind of player in the league. Like, that physicality, the way he would go up and get the ball and the way he'd bring it down, like, he was just so physical, man. I think Debo's as close as it gets, bro. But I mean, outside of that, like, if you had to compare Anquan Bolden to another player in the league, who would you compare him to?
It's hard to compare. I mean, Debo's actually got a whole lot more explosion and speed, but Bolden definitely beats him out on the size and strength. But Debo's plenty strong for his size, without a doubt.
Like AJ Brown is like
yeah, maybe
he's not close, but I mean, it's that stature, right? That big, bulky,
Player comps have always been hard for me, because it's like you can say this player resembles that player, but at the end of the day, it's almost only like he's only 80% of that player, because everybody's kind of unique in their own little way. Let me say what's up to this guy right here. He's a fellow, he's a steady viewer, a very loyal viewer, a new guy. Know the Truth 05 says, LOL, for real, I got family in Boston. Whenever I go visit and represent the squad, I hear a lot of hate. Know the Truth, are you from the Bay Area by chance? I remember you asked me if I was from the Bay Area. I'm not sure if you live in the Bay Area, though. But that's some good insight with your Boston connection. That's kind of cool. And he also says that he ran into Merton Hanks at KFC in San Jose. My little bro got his autograph. That's funny. I used to live in San Jose at one point, and now I live more in the Sacramento area. But yeah, one time me and my brother walked in the Candlestick, and we went up this elevator. It's like you go through the side where they have this fence to enter Candlestick, and it was like this, almost like a secret entrance. But my brother had access to it because we were season ticket holders. And we went up this elevator, and sometimes when we got out of that elevator, we'd see certain people affiliated with the organization. Like one time I saw Parag Marate, said what's up to him really, really quick. But this other time I saw Merton Hanks and his wife, and I was like, why didn't I walk up to him? And I just felt like I felt like I couldn't bother him at the moment. So it is what it is. But cool that you got to meet him. I heard he's mad cool, and I always mentioned this a few times, I always love that Merton Hanks chicken dance, and how John Madden used to always comment on it about, hey, look, there's Merton Hanks, he's doing the Big Bird dance. Yeah, I saw you guys talking about John Madden on your podcast, and that's awesome, because I did a little dedication for him as well after he passed away.
Man, he just changed everything, bro, for us. Like that voice was everything, right? I mean, he was just he changed commentary. Like, he was just an amazing. He just changed everything. He was on television, bro. I could go on and on and on about him, man. But just a man, bro. Just an amazing. He's so funny, bro. Just the way that he
funny and knowledgeable.
Oh my God, he was awesome. He's just
and the thing is, like, you can put out all these great, NFL minds and make them announcers. There's only gonna be one John Madden.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say something else about him, but I forgot. I know I said it the previous time when I had brought him up. But John Madden is an NFL legend, and now I remember. How lucky are we as 49er fans when you go back and watch those highlights? Because Fox and the Madden, was it Madden and Pat Summerall? They announced they were the announcers for so many epic 49er games, and we were spoiled as 49er fans not only to have this great team that made all this great history, but to have the freaking great best announcing duo at the time.
I was so much younger, bro. So I absorbed it, but it's just it's just how he. Like going back, right? Being a kid and going back and watching those that collection on VHS, going back and watching it, just that's when it got real, and that's when you could understand it. Like he was hilarious. He was the first. The way he made his approach on television back in the late, what was it? Was it the 70s? When he came on, when things were televised, like he would break through. Like I gotta go back and I gotta refresh my memory, man. But
the late 70s, he became an announcer, though.
Yeah. So around that time, before that, like when he was on television, it was more of like a comedic act, and it was great. And going back, bro. Let's go back to most memorable. My best experience, because my experience is traveling. With the way that my family had the business, and I really couldn't get away to go to the West Coast and absorb some of the most memorable moments in 49er history, even like in the early 2000s. But I guess I would honestly tell you, I went to Miami for the Super Bowl, and I didn't go to the game, but I went to a 49ers bar in Miami where it was just 49er fans. When I tell you I had the time of my life, I did. I mean,
that's awesome, man.
That was awesome. Probably the best experience, because I not only did I get to be there with fans from all over the country, but there were people from the 49 from Germany, from that chapter. There were some amazing fans, and then when everything started to go to hell, I lost it, bro. I was crushed.
Oh, that game! Oh my gosh! Don't even remind me. Oh god!
But I mean, but most memorable. That's got to be it, because I wasn't at the game, but I was celebrating a Super Bowl.
Hey, it's great to be with other 49er fans, man. We're almost like a family, and the reason why you mentioned Germany again. That chapter runs so deep, it's crazy. They're across the Atlantic Ocean, and they attend so many games, man. They're such diehards.
They do it, and some of them do it individually. You know what I'm saying? I met one girl, she travels on her own. She doesn't join up with any other. She was just a singular 49ers fan from Germany, and she traveled alone. She'd come to the States anytime she could. Amazing.
That's awesome, man. Hats off to them. If any of the 49 Germany chapter people are watching, shout out to you guys. I actually played a graphic last show of they made this awesome graphic. I put it on my Twitter, actually. You might have seen it on my Twitter. It's there's all these Sofi Levi South stadium graphics that they do with edits where it looks like a 49er stadium, but the one that the Germany chapter made it was the best one, and maybe I'll pop it up and show it to you if you haven't seen it. I can go on my Instagram actually and just display it in a minute. But yeah, shout out to the Germany Empire. They rep so well, man. They're an amazing chapter. I can't and just all those other 49er chapters all over the place. Give me a second because I'm about to share my screen since I brought it up. Just a moment. Oh yeah, I have something good to bring up here. It's good that I brought that up because this is just a little interlude of the. Let me share my screen for this. This is for all the people who are going to the game. Obviously, I'm not going to the game. I wish I was. Even though I put out a song called "Who's Going to the Game," I'm not going to be at the game. But let me share this screen right here. This is on my 49er Minded Instagram page if you want to see it better. I also posted it on the 49er Minded Facebook group, as well as the 49er Minded on the Twitter page. So what this is just it's showing everybody what the 49er Empire fan events are all about and where they're going to be located over in LA. So on Saturday they got a big event at some bar, Tom's Watch Bar, that is, off of Figueroa Street, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. On Saturday in the evening, they got another thing at Maraca's Cantina, 3:30 to 7 p.m. So everybody's getting drunk, and obviously there's they're doing some big tailgate at the Pink Lot from 11 a.m. till kickoff. Some of the 49er rappers are going to perform. I believe 49er Dude, who I've had on my show before, is going to be there. I'm not sure which other 49er rappers are going to be there, but if you have any in mind, they might actually be there. So it's going to be a big night of hanging out, kicking it with 49er fans this weekend. There's actually an event going on right now from 8 p.m. to midnight at the Garage in LA. So for those of you who are going to be in LA, for the game, definitely check out my Instagram page if you're curious to what events are going on. And so there's I don't have that thing that on the graphic on this page right here. Let me just stop sharing. Thought I had it on there. I'll pull up on a different site. But yeah, so there's plenty of Niner fans that are going to be out in LA this weekend who have already arrived. I mean, they already said that like StubHub or Ticketmaster released that about last time that we played them in SoFi. It was like 25% of Northern California people that purchased the tickets, and this time around I believe it's like almost like 45% or something from Northern California. Then you already have the Southern California Niner fans, so it's almost like our home stadium, man.
I love it, man. I love it. That was a reach. That was a reach, bro. It didn't sit well with me. I oh my God, I like that bro put me. I'll save it, bro. I'll save it.
I got you. Let me say what's up to C. McCarver Jr. No, my name is not Tupac. Great YouTuber for all the 49er fans out there. If you guys know who this guy is, he's been on my show. He says, "Damn it, B. You had me thinking you was going." Another hit show. I got the Locker Room Rant. Subscribe. Thumbs up. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm sure.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Definitely check John V's channel out on YouTube. On his podcast with his boys on there, and definitely check out C. McCarver Jr. I wish I was going to the game. I know maybe you heard my song. I made that song for all the Niner fans who are going just to get hyped up, and for those who aren't going, just in general to get hyped up about going to the game. And it's trust me, I'd kill to be out there. I hear the prices to get a damn ticket are as if you're buying a damn ticket for the Super Bowl, but hey, more power to anybody who couldn't afford it. Because it's going to be a historical moment on Sunday. Hopefully it works in our favor. I mean, I'm not guaranteeing anything, but we own that stadium. It's just so funny how we own that stadium. I think it's hilarious.
I love it, man. I love it.
And in just a second, I'm going to pop up that graphic of that edit that 49er Germany guy made because it was so good. I found it right here. I'm going to pop it up in just a second because I know I showed this last time, but for any of you that didn't watch my show last time, I'll pop it up one more time because I think this is the best version of the SoFi Stadium as a 49er stadium as Levi's South, in my opinion. So, and there it is right there. So, and the guy who made it is from the 49er Empire Germany chapter. So I think that looks awesome, man. They might as well just redo the stadium and make it look like that. It's so much it's much prettier. It's more beautiful that way, in my opinion.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's quite fitting. Yeah. So there you go. So you saw it. Yeah, so who else is here? We got No Border Sports. He says, "What's up?" That's Waruna and Ryan. Check out their podcast on YouTube. Subscribe to their channel. No BS, No Border Sports. We got Tommy Huxley, the YouTube guitarist / 49er fan, says, "What's up?" And C. McCarver Jr. said, I heard the song and I was super hyped for you. At the end of the show, we're going to do the song, man. That's my thing. But, before this, because I'm going to do one more show tomorrow. And my thing is before we actually kick off on Sunday, I just started last night, going to do it tonight, and going to do it tomorrow, just to get everybody hyped up for the game, positive energy, positive vibes, and I want those vibes to run off to the rest of the Niner Empire, to all the players, so we can get this W on Sunday. And so we're about to do a nosedive into the heavy 49er talk, about this team with this game on Sunday, but I always throw in some food questions. So, I throw that curveball, the food curveball. And I know you're in the restaurant industry. Yep. I myself, I've never worked in the restaurant industry, but I am a home-taught chef. I make kebabs on the barbecue. I have a pizza oven in the backyard. I make my own pizza, and it's restaurant-quality pizza to those who've tried it. So, since we're in the pizza topic and you're from the East Coast, I'm not sure if you tried the pizza in California or not, because I know a lot of East Coasters hate California pizza, but what is your pizza preference? Are we talking like East Coast New York style? Are we talking Chicago style deep dish? I know there's even a Greek pizza on the East Coast from what I heard. Never tried it, but I heard about it. And there's some Greek pizza. I've never had it, but
it's a bunch of vegetables, bro, on some thick dough.
Okay.
We shouldn't partake in the pizza, bro. But I'll tell you what, I'll have pizza here on the East Coast. There's some great places, bro. they do some decent Briar Hill and some good, like some white pizza, like with, but really if I go to Brooklyn, there's a place called Pizza Italy. All right. It's in Brooklyn and it's probably my favorite pizza, but there's not a pizza here in Ohio or on the East Coast outside of New York City, bro. That is, if I go visit family or if I'm in town for a good time, I get my pizza fix because there's just no pizza here in Ohio. That's
really, I thought Ohio would have good pizza because you guys aren't too far from New York. Okay.
I mean, listen, the recipes are similar, but I think it's the experience. I think it's just I don't know, man. I don't know.
But have you ever had DeFara? Have you ever tried DeFara in Brooklyn? I hear that's a famous pizzeria in Brooklyn. DeFara, have you heard of it?
No.
Okay. Have you had Joe's or Bleecker?
I think there's oh man, what the hell is it called? Pizza Italy is my joint. That's
okay. I gotta look that up. Since you brought it up.
That's my go-to.
Okay, McCarver makes a joke. It's an inside joke between me and him. He says, "Yo, I bet they don't have any crispy, crunchy chickens in New York." So crispy, crunchy chicken. I'm not sure if you heard of it. Maybe they have it on Ohio. I know they do have it in other states. It's like primarily. I mean, they don't. I mean, for the most part, they kind of operate out of gas stations. It's gas station fried chicken, but in my opinion, it's better than KFC and better than Popeyes. They have it in California, but it actually started in other states, more towards the Midwest and East Coast. I'm not sure if Ohio has it, but it's just funny because me and McCarver always kind of joke about crispy, crunchy chicken. We got David McNew up in the chat. Where's he at? He says Shanahan might be safe for one more season. So you guys got to remember, there are some Niner fans for some, hey, we might actually win a Super Bowl with Shanahan, but I'm not going to jump too far ahead. But, before the season started, or was it before last season, they gave Shanahan that extension. So, I mean, Shanahan's got to F up really, really, really bad in order for him to get canned, in my opinion,
Yeah, bro. There's always a question. There's always a question for those that believe that. And if you in your heart believe that, who would you replace him with? That if you don't want Shanny, who do you want?
That's my thing. It's like, who's really? I've brought that up too. It's like, hold on, okay, you want to fire Kyle Shanahan? Okay, and what resolution do you have? I mean, like, how are we gonna? Who's out there? They say, I've heard Harbaugh and all that other stuff. Harbaugh would never come back though. He'd never come back.
No, that power struggle between Balky, York, and Harbaugh was toxic. It absolutely destroyed a good thing, bro. Like a really good thing. That's a conversation for another day.
Oh yeah. I'm not even gonna get into that. I just threw his name out there for whatever reason. But other than Harbaugh, I can't really think of any big time guy that would just waltz right in here and just fix everything. Assuming things need to be fixed. We got a good friend of mine. We got what are we missing?
Good one.
What's up?
Singletary.
Singletary. It's Don Suave. Says, him and his catchphrases, right? I want winners. And yeah, that guy was just too funny. I was actually at that game when he did that press conference too. It was against the Seahawks, and we got our shit kicked out of us. And yeah, he got pissed at Vernon Davis and sent Vernon Davis to the showers and did that whole speech after the game. What up, Melissa? Melissa from Twitter, really good buddy. Says, let's effing go, fellas. She's a New Jersey 49er fan, repping hard. There's so many great 49er fans in other states, man. I'm so thankful for all these 49er fans.
She's an amazing supporter of my channel.
Yeah. She's a great supporter of the Niner podcast.
She's a good supporter of just about everyone, man. She's
awesome.
A beautiful person. I appreciate her. Izzy, I love you, man. There
you go. So so we're gonna talk a little bit more football. I got one more question for you because it's a little off topic, but. I don't know. I don't know if you're a hip hop guy or not. If you grew up listening to hip hop like I did, but
yeah, bro.
Okay.
Nas is my guy.
Okay, but who? Okay, so give me it doesn't have to be in any particular order. You got Nas down there, but do you have 4 or 5 rappers that you grew up listening to that are your main guys that you grew up listening to?
I mean, I had 3, and it was Tupac, Biggie, and Nas.
Okay, there you go.
And I indulged in anything that I could get my hands on as a teenager, remixes, anything I could find. But that was those 3. Those were my 3, man. And I really, really, being here on the East Coast, obviously Biggie was big for us, but I mean, I love Pac and I love Nas. They were amazing.
Yeah, I remember Pac when he first got his start with Digital Underground too, because I'm a big Bay Area rap guy, and Digital Underground was really big. It was the first rap song I ever memorized was the Humpty Hump, and Digital Underground was a dancer with them at the. Tupac was a dancer with Digital Underground with them at the time. Let me see what's up to. This guy's an awesome guy. I know him from Instagram. This is Chuck Flavor Train. He was actually on one of the 49er pregame shows on NBC Sports Area with Joe Staley, with Laura Britt, with Takeo Spikes and Dante Whitner. This guy, and we were talking about food earlier, this guy is a beast in the kitchen. He's a beast on the grill. He's a barbecue master. I believe he runs his own catering business. It's Chuck's Flavor Train. Check him out on Instagram. Awesome. Whenever he cooks something up on his videos, he always says "Bang Bang Flavor Gang," and I think he said "Bang Bang" right here. He wanted me to finish out "Bang Bang Flavor Gang." What's up, dude? I want to. He's one of these days we'll try to get this guy on the show, man. He's an awesome dude, great guy, and I can't say enough about his awesome food videos on Instagram. He just has a huge, enormous following. You know who he is?
No, I don't.
You don't?
I can't wait to follow
you got to check his Instagram out, man. He has got so many followers, and his videos his cooking, grilling videos, barbecue videos are just through the roof, man. They had him on the 49er pregame show. I forgot for what game though, but it was at Levi's. We got Osmosis, one of the original 49er content creators on YouTube. Says, "What's up, dude? All the way in Minnesota, I believe, over in the Midwest. How's it going? Definitely kicked it with this dude at Candlestick a few times. Good dude, man. And yeah, man. So." How fortunate are we to talk about 49er football? It's January 28th. Let me get a drink of water. Hang on. I don't know why my throat was so damn dry, but I needed that water. Thank God. But it's January 28th, and we're still talking about the 49ers right now being relevant. You're watching the Green Bay game. Just tell me how you're reacting to all the craziness in that game, and just go ahead and just talk about it.
I mean, the emotions it's a roller coaster of emotion. Like, I was losing my mind. The loss of production on offense was killing me. Like, I watching Jimmy stand there and take sacks. It does something to me that, like, it probably at this point in my fandom, I should be able to accept the man that he is and the play that I get. The problem is, or the play that we get, when he stands there and he doesn't throw the ball away or he doesn't make the effort. I mean, even if you try to get out, your pocket awareness it's ass. It's terrible, right? I need you to show me that you are aware that what's happening on the right side is happening right now and you should move. Like, get the hell out of the way. Compton was terrible, but I mean, Jimmy, just try. Like, if you make the effort to get out of the pocket and roll out just a little bit, and I'm not talking about I'm talking like not 2017 rollout, just get out of there. And if you get sacked in the effort, I can accept that, but standing still and getting hit, I can't handle it. It does something to me. It hits my nerves. I start cursing. I scare my family. I start tweeting just curses, and then I find myself, just apologizing to the fans on my Twitter line, on my timeline, because I go nuts, bro. But when Jimmy's not producing, when he's not trying, that's my biggest pet peeve. But So the run game was we were doing well, and then just shortly after halftime, the run game we weren't producing anymore. I started freaking out, man. I thought, like, I always say to myself, if you guys are going to go to the podium and you're going to start making these comments where you're going to be like, well, we couldn't really pull it out, the elements were tough here in Lambeau. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I was like, I don't want to hear you guys give up. Like, you guys, we look desperate. And to everyone in the chat, if you agree, let me know. But we look desperate. We were trying and trying and trying. And the drop balls were driving me crazy. And I will not make excuses. And I said this with Breezy too. I don't want excuses that the cold was why you couldn't catch the ball. And I know the football gets I know it becomes a stone, like it becomes a solid stone, and I get that. But the drops were unacceptable. And look, like I was worried about the secondary going into this game, bro. The secondary. That was my biggest concern. Josh Norman, Dante Johnson. I started getting, that was where I was anxious. Wouldn't you believe that was the least of my concern? By the end of the third quarter, I wasn't worried about that anymore. Like, are we going to score, fam? Are we going to score? When Jimmy threw that pick, when he rolled out and he tried to force that throw and it got picked off, like I lost my mind. I lost it too, bro. Because I thought, oh my God, I thought we were going to score a touchdown right then and there. We were pretty close, dude. We needed it. And listen to you, like, I can't guarantee that we would have scored off that drive. Let's say he catches the ball, he steps out of bounds. Like, we needed points. Going into half, we needed points, and we got the field goal, but I'll tell you what, man, I lost it, man. I'm still recovering. Like, my chest hurt so bad during that game that I felt like, am I going to collapse? Like, is this real right now? Like, Jimmy, you got sacked by your shoestring. His first sack. Who was it? Who dove at his feet? Izzy, you corrected me last time because I thought it was Clark, but it was. Who dove at Jimmy's feet and sacked him from he dove right for him?
Was it the nose tackle? I know what Rashawn Gary had a sack at one point, and the Clark was the nose tackle, right? I'm not sure who it was, but I know what play you're talking about. I definitely remember that well.
It actually might have been Rashard. It might have been Rashard Gary that dove at Jimmy's shoestrings, snatched him up, and brought him down. That pissed me off. That was some weak. That was weak. Bro, move, Jimmy. Like, that's what I'm screaming, And I find myself doing this a lot, bro. And I'm throwing my hat and I'm pulling my hood over my head. I'm pulling my strings, bro. Like, I'm losing my mind, and it's all frustration that Jimmy brought me. And I knew better than to think that we were going to get. It was Zadarius Smith. Dove at Jimmy's feet.
Okay, there you go. Swan, I believe Swan saw my buddy Swan saw. Shout out to you, bro. Good to have you on here. He brought it up. Yeah.
But I guess I go into this game knowing that Jimmy's probably going to struggle throwing the ball under the circumstances. I thought we were going to probably we were going to be run heavy. But there was just so much going on, bro, that like Elijah Mitchell, I don't believe that he was 100% in that game. Did you get the feeling that Elijah Mitchell had lost the step, like he was a little slower in that game? It could have been the cold.
Yeah. My thing with Elijah Mitchell is I just wish we'd throw in Jeff Wilson Jr. every now and then to spell him, because Elijah Mitchell is one of those guys who can bust open a 40-yard or 50-yard run with his speed, and I just think if we pound the guy too much, he loses his cardio, and I just think, like, try to keep him a little bit more fresher than we normally do, especially in these big games. But we'll see how we use him. And my complaint is about the whole Debo running back thing. Is I just don't like seeing Debo running straight through the teeth of the defense like we saw so much in Packers. The Packers. I don't know if you agree with me on that.
Debo wants that contact. He lives for that. That's what scares me, that he gets in his own way. Now, lately, I haven't been too worried about Debo, but when he started limping off the field, that.
Oh yeah. That worried me.
Stop. Third and 7, and he gets 9 yards. I mean, like, are you kidding me right now? Just can we try something different? I don't like the trick plays with Trent Williams on the edge. I don't want to see that.
I feel you. I'm with you on that.
I don't want to see that. The Niners, if I've learned anything this season, especially in the last 3 or 4 weeks, we don't execute trick plays well. So I just don't want them. Just don't bother.
And speaking of Trent Williams, hopefully he plays this game. I know he's they tried to run him out there for practice today, and he walked off the field. And I think that's a big concern for us, especially when you mention the whole Jimmy G thing and the way he doesn't have the greatest awareness. Even when there is time to throw, he doesn't always make the best decisions. I've seen it multiple times where Jimmy's back to pocket count 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and then Jimmy will sidestep right into a D lineman and get sacked. It's like, what are you doing, bro? Throw the ball away or something. If you don't see somebody open, it's you have another down to play for. But that's Jimmy. That's who we got at the moment. And let me just see if go ahead.
Let me ask you. You mentioned that you were not crazy about using Debo in a running back as a running back. How did you feel then? I'm assuming it didn't sit right with you when they had him on kick return.
You know what? I don't mind him on the kick returns though, because it finally gives us some boost, and something to be excited about in the kick returns for a change. I know we had that one guy, Trent Cannon, but we haven't really used him. And he had one good return, I think, during the season. Pretty fast guy, actually. He had one good return during the season against Green Bay in the regular season. But we haven't really been using them. I don't mind Debo so much on the kick returns, but and again, I don't mind Debo on those jet sweeps either, or even on the running play where it's more towards the outside. I just don't want it straight through the teeth of the defense in the middle of where the linebackers and the D linemen sit. I just don't. And we saw the pounding that he was taking. It didn't look good.
How do you feel that they'll approach us? Do you want to wait? Do you want to cover that? Do you want to cover that in a little bit?
Talking about the Rams.
Yeah, how do you think they?
I mean, all these teams love to stack the box on us, right? I mean, that's the bread and butter to, ever since we played the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, it seems like everybody's like, okay, well, if you stack the box on the 49ers and, on Jimmy, they're not going to be able to run the ball, and we're going to force Jimmy to throw, and that's how we're going to beat these guys. And that was a recipe in the Super Bowl. We saw a whole lot in the 2020 season. Then we're seeing it this season. Can Jimmy overcome it? I want to see some shots to Kittle. If they're forcing you to pass and they're begging you to pass and they're daring you to pass, why not throw? Why aren't we? This is my thing. I don't mind the whole Debo running back thing. Every now and then I get it, but this guy freaking put up 1,000 yards in the first 8 or 9 games. Like, throw to him. We need to throw to the guy more. And I know I love getting Ayuk and Jennings involved too. So I obviously get those guys involved too, but. Every now and then, run a bootleg play, bootleg play action type play, and just take a shot, man.
We haven't done it. We've avoided that. You notice that? It's kind of weird.
I have.
I don't know what the game plan is, and I don't know if you're Shanahan. Do you change the way you approach the Rams this time around? You are 6-0. You are 5-0 with Jimmy. You beat them with Nick Mullins. But what's your approach this time around? Like, do the 49ers change their approach, or do they sit pat where they're at and rely on the run game and force mistakes, right? I mean, the Rams unravel when they get frustrated, right? When they start getting disoriented, when you get in their head, and I would imagine that going under a silent count frustrates the living hell out of the offense, right? I would imagine that all that crowd noise forces that silent count, and I would imagine that that's when they start making clerical errors, and this is what I think that Shanahan's the type of guy that, like, he will take Ramsey and he will try to remove him. Shanahan has a fine way of removing some of your best players and making them irrelevant, right? You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like, we knew going into Green Bay that there was going to be Devontae Adams, and we were going to let Devontae Adams get his, so to speak, right? But then it started getting concerning that out of a little over 200 some yards passing that Aaron Rodgers and Aaron was throwing the ball. So there was no excuse as if Aaron can throw the ball, why can't Jimmy, right? But out of those 200 and I forget how many yards it was when I looked, Devontae Adams accounted for half of that in receiving yards, right? He had over 100 yards receiving, and he was doing it single-handedly. And the fact that we weren't putting up points offensively, when we said all the shows that we did leading up to the game, we're like, yo, we're going to let Devontae Adams get his, and this and that and this and that. But then it was just Devontae Adams. He was getting his, and the momentum was constantly on their side. And it started to concern me because now this is the Aaron Rodgers show. It's just Aaron Rodgers playing pitch and catch with Devontae Adams. And it wasn't supposed to be this way. Like he was getting space. He was shaking. He was shaking. He was getting in the secondary and he was open. And it bothered me, man. He was making remarkable catches.
But I'll say this, though. Whatever yards that, in my opinion, whatever yards that Devontae Adams did get in comparison to other times we faced, definitely in comparison to the first time we faced him this year, these yards were a bit more, were quiet, though. And like you said, you were worried before the game started. I was freaking out when I saw the report that Ambry Thomas wasn't going to play. And here we have this rookie who's stepping up and developing right before our eyes. And I'm like, oh, great. We're going to have freaking Dante Johnson and Josh Norman on this guy. And to Dante Johnson's credit, I saw some films, some all-22s, and there were times where he played played Devontae Adams pretty good. But obviously I'm assuming we have Ambry Thomas available this week. He should be.
He was full go. Yeah. He was full go today, I think they said. Mm-hmm. Isn't it funny though, bro, that all that time we spent saying that Ambry Thomas wasn't ready? Ambry Thomas, he's not cut out for the zone coverage. He's a man guy. Isn't it crazy how, like, when we found out game time that Ambry wasn't going to play, I lost it too. I was like, this guy's not ready. This kid's not ready. And in weeks prior, I'm like, this kid's not ready. And then he had that. He balled out week 18 versus the Rams, and he had that he closed the game off with that interception. So it's funny to me, bro, how much we progressed as a unit, how the team just found their identity and they operated as one unit, and the chemistry is there now, and they love each other, bro, and they support one another, and it means everything to me. But it's funny how we change our opinions just based on, production. And that's what it is, right? I mean, if you produce, we're going to support you. The fan base they can hurt you or they can love you. You know what I mean? And you just have to be on the right side of it. And I don't blame the fans, but at the same time, we were hard on Ambry Thomas because he wasn't getting the reps. Now look at what he's got. Look at the reps that he's got, and look at the production we're getting from him. It's everything. Production, the reps are everything, and that's my thing on Lance too. I think that's where,
Oh yeah, and I'm not going to talk about Lance until next year. No. And I'm a big Lance guy. Trust me on that. And I know we're all talking about how our nerves get up for these playoff games, and I think ever since like the last game when we played the Rams, our nerves have been through the roof, and so some people need help to go through those tough times. And what I introduced to you guys here, my 49er fans, on my Twitter page, is the 49ers starter pack, 49ers 2022 playoff starter pack. You got your 49er hat, of course. You got your 49er cup. You got your blood pressure monitor. You got your Tums. They might want to throw some Advil or some Excedrin in there too. Do what you got to do when you watch these playoff games.
A brown paper bag, just breathing into it.
A brown paper bag. Okay,
out,
so we got some questions going in here, and if you're okay with us going the hour mark, we can do that. Because we're gonna hit the hour mark, obviously.
I got time, brother.
Okay, cool.
I'm here with you for as long as you want to roll, man.
Okay, cool. Well, so I'll make sure it ends at the right time. We're not gonna go too long, but we'll go a little bit over an hour. So I just wanted to hit you up on that. So we got some great questions in the chat. I said, hey, throw up the questions, and again, normally I do throw up a lot more comments on the screen, but when the comments get flooded and the conversation's so good, really, really good, I can't always keep up with the comments, but I try my best. So we got Melissa all the way in New Jersey, and she had a great question. Where is it? It was one of the first questions I saw, actually. If I could go see it again. Let's see. Where is it? Oh, she goes, who gets the most sacks on Sunday? Who do you think it is? I think I know what your answer is already, though.
Well, right here, baby.
You're Ohio State guy, Bosa.
I love Nicky. He's my guy, man. I believe Bosa I think he gets 3, Izzy. I think he gets 3. I'd be lying to you if I told you that I didn't think Armstead would get in there and get at least 1 or 2. I'm going to say Bosa gets 3. But I'm not going to discredit Ibukam either. This is his opportunity to come and play. And Omenihu has stepped up too. I'm just like when Bosa went out that game with that concussion. If did you see that? Did you see the pass rush get to the quarterback? They got home quicker, right?
Yeah, I was freaking out. Well, obviously when he left the game, but again, I stated this on my show previously, and like I was so proud of everybody who stepped on the D line and was able to get to the quarterback in Bosa's absence. I was so happy for that to see that. Yep. It felt so good seeing that.
There's a good chance. There's a good chance that we see Arden Key get in there. DJ Jones. He's a stud, man. I love DJ, man.
Yeah, I call him Mark Henry with wheels. You know, WWF wrestler. Yeah. DJ Jones has that barbecue sauce that Rob Shue always markets. He's always got the bottle of DJ Jones's dad's barbecue sauce. David McNew has a funny question. He says, "Question: How many times does Debo run over Jalen Ramsey like a freight train?" Hopefully, plenty. Hopefully, more often than not. Love to see that. Let me see what this question is. Okay, that's not for us. That's for somebody else. I'm going to see if there's any good questions that we got here. Let's see. Melissa says, "Do you think Mosley, Bosa, or Emmanuel will get the first turnover?" You go ahead and answer that one first.
Do I think Mosley, Bosa, or E-Man get the first turnover? You know, Izzy, I think now I want to say Bosa, but if I'm gonna steer away, if you want like INT, I'm gonna go with Aziz. I think Aziz,
baby, please.
I think Aziz would get the first turnover by INT.
You know, I mentioned this on Niner Nate's podcast. I know they haven't played collectively throughout the whole season, but I was just we were talking about how the 49ers haven't, you know, their defense isn't being, you know, brought out to the national media as this great, you know, playoff defense in comparison to great defenses throughout NFL history. And I was like, it's unfortunate because like you look at this linebacker trio. You got Fred Warner, All-Pro. You got Dre Greenlaw, who's coming back with a vengeance. You got Aziz. I mean, I remember back when linebacking cores were celebrated, and it was a big deal. You know, I remember when the New Orleans Saints had the Dome Patrol. You know, you had Von Johnson, Sam Mills, Patrick Swilling, Ricky Jackson, and that was like they always talked about these great linebacker cores, and I wish this 49er linebacker core, which I think collectively is an amazing group, man. When you got those three monsters going at it, trying to punch the ball out and make plays.
I fear for the Rams this Sunday. The linebackers, in my opinion, are probably going to have their biggest show out, right? I mean, this team is carrying pain right here. That last Super Bowl, that crushed them, right? I believe collectively the linebackers are going to be the X factor in this game. I know the pass rush is going to be. I know that Stafford's anticipating this pass rush. Just watching Dallas, watching how we came at that, watching how we got after Rodgers. I know that they're anticipating a heavy pass rush. So I believe Stafford is going to do his side throws, and he's going to get fancy. He's going to get cute, and he's going to get the ball off quick. And this is why I believe that our linebackers are going to be as a unit, not just one in particular, because Warner concerns me because he doesn't catch the ball when he should catch the ball, right? He breaks them up, but there's times where I'm just like, oh, Fred, Jesus, bro, that was catch that, Fred.
Yeah, these guys need to work on the jugs machine a bit more, man.
I said that Warner needs to get in front of the jugs machine for sure. But that's not taking anything away from him. He still makes great plays. He's everywhere, sideline to sideline. You cannot take that away from him. But I believe, bro, that the linebackers are the X factor in this matchup, just because the pass rush is going to be so heavy, and Stafford's going to have to make. I think that he'll dink and dunk against us. I think that he's not. I think he'll be more reserved, and I think he's not going to go on the deep routes. He's not going to go the seams. I think he's going to try to just take advantage of everything underneath and everything that we give him, right? So I believe the linebackers show out. I think they have a great game.
Yeah, and back to who gets the first turnover. I don't know why, but I'm kind of sensing that Jimmy Ward gets back on the horse because he got a nice interception the first time around when we played the Rams, and maybe they challenge him again and he gets another one. Maybe him or Tart, man. Both of those guys are due for something, man. I mean, I love to see our DBs get more interceptions.
They're a wonderful tandem. I do not like to hear that when people say that they want Tart to go or Tart's going to go. Tart and Ward together, that chemistry goes before they were professional football players, and I absolutely love it. They complement one another, and there's mixed emotions from the fan base in that regard. But I do not want to see Tart go.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah, because the fan base, and in some way I kind of don't blame them. They want to see the flashy, big interceptions, big plays from the safeties, and I do get that. But those guys are definitely play sound football, and like you said, they have a history together. They both played high school football together. They were tandem way back then.
Physical.
Yeah,
it's physicality. That's our identity. We are physical.
Mm-hmm. So Corey says the Rams linebackers can't cover, and they are all trying to get to the quarterback, work the middle of the field. So you were mentioning how it was painful for us to lose the Super Bowl, and a lot of people have brought this up this week, and I was thinking about it as well because, during the NFL, and keep in mind, I've yet to watch the full NFL films mic'd up thing of the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl. I almost refuse to watch it. Maybe later down the road I might watch it again, but I do remember seeing one part, George Kittle standing on the sidelines. I forgot, maybe you could quote me better than me, but he was like, hey, man, I'm going to be back here. And when I come back, I'm going to be back here with a fucking vengeance. Okay, I dropped the F-bomb. I wasn't supposed to, but Kittle sounded super determined there. So I'm saying get him the ball this Sunday. Let's go. And just to cover what Corey said, the Rams linebackers going to try to get the linebackers, work the middle of the field. You expecting a big game from Kittle?
I know some 49er fans are a little bit upset because they don't believe that Kittle's getting the ball enough. And some of them are local 49er fans that I know here. And they I get it. And I every time I want him to have a big game, he has an extraordinary game in the blocking game, right? In the running game. So I just feel like if you're a fan and you're upset that Kittle's not getting the ball, please understand that he's making a sacrifice and a difference in the run game. And right now with the ankle of Trent Williams, and we don't know the severity of whether it's a high ankle or if it's a lower ankle sprain. We don't know, right? This is the time. This is when Juice and Kittle are going to be overcompensating on that side, trying to help, take a little bit off, because we don't want to burn Trent now. God willing, we move forward. Trent's going to be more necessary than ever. So I believe that Kittle's going to have a great game, but it might be a little bit of both. I don't know, man. That's my thing. I really can't tell you how we approach this team this time around. You know what I mean? I don't believe that we can go into this game the same way that we have approached them each and every time, right? Because 6-0 in the regular season, irrelevant if they knock us off in an NFC championship. Irrelevant. It zeroes those out, right? Would you
exactly?
Agree
I'll take a few losses there to get this win right here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. This is the one win that matters. So we do have a Patriots fan in the building. He says it's hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. If the 49ers win, they'll be officially the Rams' daddy. Hope so. Hope we do win. I'm with you on that one. I know he made a comment about Jimmy G earlier. He said Jimmy G's about to win the Super Bowl and the 49ers have no choice to keep him around. But I don't want to jump too far ahead and go that far. I hope we do win it all. I mean, if that situation presents itself, without a doubt. So I just want to see what other cool questions we got here. I know there's probably some questions that I'm missing. And let's see. Melissa says, John, no matter what happens, do you think Dwelly is gone?
I do believe Dwelly's gone. And you know why? Izzy, and I think we talked about this before, he just can't block. And, he's got hands. He's got great hands. Guys, Dwelly can catch the ball. There's you've seen it. You've seen him catch the ball. And it's kind of what I love about him. I like that he can catch the ball, but he can't block. He is not blocking. And Charlie Warner is starting to really, really mold, and he's really, really starting to step up. I think no matter what happens, I do believe Dwelly's gone. We have so many free agents, and I just think that Dwelly's going to be one of those guys that we do not bring back.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you talk to Grant Cohn, Dwelly's better than George Kittle. So he said that a few times on the show before. We don't use look how often we use Dwelly. We just don't even throw to the guy, and it's just I will not surprise me one bit that we let go of him. And Warner, I do like what I see from him as a blocker. He's a big tough dude, but he's obviously so far when I've seen it, he's not much of a receiver. But who knows? That remains to be seen if they do try to throw to him again. But I do like those blocking tight ends at the end of the day, though. I remember I used to love when Jim Harbaugh used to throw in an extra offensive lineman or like 2 extra offensive linemen in those jumbo packages. And it would just be like 7 offensive linemen. Boom, let's run the ball. I love that.
It's incredible because it's such a huge dynamic to this scheme, right? You need tight ends that can block. And, Kyle Juszczyk and George Kittle do it well. I know, Izzy, you're not a fan. I know you're not a fan of Juice, and I know she believes that we are throwing money out the window. But there's just I like Kyle Juszczyk. I don't want to see him gone, friend. I really don't. I want to see him stick around. I do believe that he is valuable to this scheme, and I think it's important that we use him that way. It's just that if Jimmy's going to overthrow him, it makes him look like it makes it kind of a waste. But I mean, Jimmy could just put the ball here,
I got you. And so there's a funny question here by Young Creeper. He says, John V, are you drinking a beer? What are you drinking?
I am. I'm enjoying a local brewery here, Great Lakes Brew in Cleveland. It's a phenomenal brewery, and it's phenomenal brew, man. It's amazing beer. Very good. This is a citrus wheat beer, and I love it. It's called Crushworthy.
Let's see it. Let's see the can. Or is it a bottle?
That's killer, man.
There you go. Okay, that's a cool looking. I like that. Looks good.
Yep.
It's funny because you flash it up, and then the green screen, it kind of faded out a little. It's kind of fun.
Taking the green. There's green leaves, man. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
And Swan Song's asking about the whole Dwelly thing. About are you seeing Dwelly get picked up by another team? Then he also said, or you see us keeping only one backup tight end. I'm pretty sure we'll probably get some other backup tight end. I don't know who though.
Unless he's willing to stick around for less money.
Mm-hmm.
But Dwelly, I do believe there's a home for Dwelly where he can start on one side or the other. He could make a great addition to any team utilizing a dual tight end threat. Where I don't know, fam. I really don't know. Look at Cleveland. They use Njoku and they use what's his face? What's his name, man? He's like the second.
I wouldn't know. I don't watch the Browns play, man.
Man, why his name is not coming to me right now. But anyway, somewhere like Cleveland, a team that could utilize Dwelly, I don't know, man. If he wants to stick around, he knows the scheme. If he's willing to stick around for less money, that's where you can keep depth. Hooper, definitely. Thank you so much, Hooper. Austin.
Okay. I remember. Didn't Hooper used to be on the Atlanta Falcons or something at one point?
He was.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. I do remember him now. Yeah. Tommy Huxley says Juice ain't going nowhere. Corey also said Austin Hooper. Thank you, Corey. And Melissa says Ross the Boss be perfect in New York. It's talking about Ross really in New York City, New York Giants, because Ingram is balls. How did that MF ever become a Pro Bowler? Yikes! I love your takes, Melissa. You don't hold back. I've heard you say a few things in the past or type a few things in the past, and I got a kick out of it. And they usually would surprise me somewhat. Somebody asked for your favorite Candlestick memory. You never been to Candlestick, but do you have a favorite memory of a game that took place at Candlestick that you watched on TV?
So let's come back to this one, Prius. Let me have this one. Let me think about this one.
Okay, yeah, we'll go back to that one.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's see what else we got. Oh, okay, Austin Hooper went to De La Salle. Okay, that's cool. I played against them one time in high school. De La Salle's, I don't know if you know who they are, but they're this dominant football team out of California. At one point, they had I don't know, a 20-year win streak or some craziness like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've heard them mentioned before.
Yeah,
in
on ESPN they talk
also
about them.
in some Twitter Spaces. I think I've also heard it too.
Yeah, they're just this Bay Area dynasty powerhouse. It's just crazy. It was almost like impossible to beat those guys. It was just crazy. And then they play teams from other states and some Southern California, and they travel and that De La Salle is just they've actually put out NFL players too. Let's see. I don't know if we have any other good questions here. I thought I covered all the other questions. I saw something about OBJ. Oh, here we go. This is a good question by Melissa. Who gets nullified more on offense, Cooper Kupp or OBJ on defense, Ramsey or AD? I think you covered it earlier. I think we'll have a way to minimize Ramsey. What about Cooper Kupp or OBJ?
See, the thing about OBJ is he's lost a step, right, since that injury in Cleveland, and he's still dynamic when he makes his cuts. Like he can shake you, he can get some space. But I would say, who gets nullified more? I would say OBJ, Izzy. Not so much Ramsey, because like I said, Shanahan's going to find a way to scheme him out. Like that's where the genius comes in, I think, is how Shanahan can take your biggest playmakers and he can make them kind of not irrelevant, but he can make them less of a threat. I would say OBJ, because I think they're going to let Cooper Kupp not get his, like I said, because that gets scary when you say, let's let Cooper Kupp get his yards. Let's let him do his thing. He can beat you single-handedly on a deep threat, right? There was one play that the Rams did where they sent Cooper Kupp just on a streak, right? I mean, he just, from the line of scrimmage, he broke into a full sprint. It was actually a play just to spread the defense. You know what I mean? They weren't really going to hit him on that deep route, but he just pinned his ears back, put his head down, and he sprinted so hard forward. He just right through the secondary, and Stafford hits him, and it's a touchdown, right? That is probably the one play that I would not like to see them, because I fear that if you let Cooper Kupp, if they can execute that exact same play, that scares me. But I would say who gets nullified more, Izzy, for sure, OBJ.
Okay, he says OBJ, and I hope he's right. I do like the way our cornerbacks have stepped up. And again, I hate to mention the Packer game again. Obviously, we won it, but our cornerbacks going into the playoffs have stepped up dramatically. And I was fearing going into the playoffs for a simple fact that at one point we were running Dante Johnson and Josh Norman out there. Emmanuel Mosley gets ready just in the nick of time. And I've been critical of Emmanuel Mosley too at points in times during the season. And again, Ambry Thomas is developing right before our eyes, which is awesome. And Corey said, "Go ahead."
One problem I have with Jimmy Ward is that he's not communicating. There's some errors that are happening, and I think it was in the Dallas game when Cooper caught that over the top, and they put their first 7 on the board.
Oh yeah, I got you with that.
You remember that? There was a little bit of miscommunication there. I hope that they clean that up. I really hope that they clean that up.
There were a few times during this season where some deep balls took place, and I was like, "Where is the safety help? What is going on here?" Like, so hopefully I don't have to say that anymore at this point in time. Oh, we got another 49er content creator in the chat. What is up? Long time no see. Shifty's 49er Talk. He's a newer 49er content creator. Check out his channel. Subscribe to his channel. Says, don't forget that Tyler Higbee had a big week 18 against us with 2 touchdowns. Yeah, he did. It was kind of scary at one point, right? And hopefully we find a way to limit him. We have the linebackers to do it. And hey, we got a special guest. My sister's in the house. She's calling me Bishy. That nickname's what my niece and nephew called me. That, her 2 kids. So, and she actually, I was really proud of my sister today because she posted some Facebook pictures of my niece and nephew wearing 49ers stuff going to school today, because the school said that, hey, the kids got to show up to school wearing 49ers gear, and I was like, whoa, where was that when I was going to elementary school? So it's great to see my nephew and niece and 49er gear, and hopefully we win. She also says, what's up, Bash? Shout out to my sister. She says, Tommy Simmons says, this is the best Niners show. Oh, love you, Tommy. That's my nephew. Tommy's awesome. And just recently, Tommy started getting to the 49ers. I remember we got him jerseys when he was really, really little before he knew what football was. And, he loves his video games just like any other kid. But, I kind of backed off. I didn't really force my Ninerism on him. But I'm glad that he's finally starting to watch and becoming a part of the 49ers. And it's awesome, man. It's awesome when your little nephew started to like the 49ers, and it's great. So we're actually gonna any other thoughts, because I wanted to dip into some fun stuff now, because remember I was now before we do the whole part with my song, for those of you guys don't know, I have a song called "Who's Going to the Game," and since it's the NFC Championship week, we're headed towards Sunday. We're almost there. We got to get this Niner Empire pumped up. This is for the people that are going to the game. I wish I was going to the game. So I made a song called "Who's Going to the Game." But before we get into that, there was a question about your favorite Candlestick moment. Did anything come to mind, John?
I'd say probably pick at the stick, man. There were probably
the pick at the stick. What a moment! What a moment!
Probably one of the most memorable. There's got to be plenty, right, fam? I mean, there's got to be so many. But pick at the stick, probably gonna take that from me. I'm gonna roll with that.
Yeah, I was at this gigantic, huge sports bar in San Jose. It's at a casino. I forgot the name of it, but it's one casino in San Jose, and they have this gigantic sports bar that's almost the size of the ones in Vegas. And when the pick of the stick took place, like, we just got up and went crazy and crazy and crazy, and then I sat down and I just put my head down and I started crying because I was literally thinking about my brother the whole time, because my brother passed away the year before. So, and I had season tickets with my brother at the in the 2012 season when we went to the Super Bowl. So it was just like, I don't know, man. It just hit me when I saw that. It was just an awesome play by Navarro Bowman. That was just what a great send off to end all those great glorious years at Candlestick Park. I mean, you couldn't write it up any better. It was amazing. I might be missing it. Oh, my sister says Bash is the best cook. He needs to have a cooking channel. Hey, maybe one day. I know. Yeah. Well, John over here. Hey, talk about your restaurant, John. Yeah, that's a good time to talk about your restaurant really quick.
How you doing, Rita? Nice to meet you.
That's my sister. That's my sister.
Bomb.com. He's a good dude. Good dude.
Yeah. So you got a restaurant. Tell them about it. I know Greeks are really famous for owning their diners and stuff like that in the U.S.
So it's a traditional. It's a diner. We do traditional breakfast, all the warm-hearted foods, the stuffed pork chops, stuffed chicken breasts, pastas, God, you name it, desserts, pies, just everything in a diner that you could possibly want. Now, I'm not 24/7 because your boy needs some rest. I can't do it. I do it 5 days a week. But I enjoy it. It was my father's. God rest his soul. He passed away a little over a decade ago.
My condolences.
Tragic car accidents. Thank you. Likewise to your brother also, and Rita, to you too as well. But we lost my father in a tragic car accident. So the restaurant fell into my lap overnight, and I've got a younger brother, and we do it together. And like I said, it's just traditional diner food, everything you enjoy when you just want to get out and just have a meal, right?
Okay, like, so what's your favorite Greek dish, though? I know you got a diner, but I know Greek food's close to your heart.
So spanakopita is my favorite.
Spanakopita is awesome. I love it.
Favorite.
We make it too, but we make a smaller version of it. I think you guys kind of make it more as a casserole, right?
Yeah, almost. And I mean, like traditionally, it's more like like I always tell people, like paper footballs. You know what I mean? They're little triangles. But over the years, I've noticed that it's getting far larger, right?
Yeah, we make it like the triangles too then, so you guys do the same thing like us. But I have seen some Greek restaurants back east where they make them all in a giant casserole, which was kind of cool too. I was like, yeah.
They do.
But and Young Creeper says I need a pizza cooking show. Maybe one day I'll do it. I don't know. It's kind of funny.
Man, listen, I love a slice. But it's hard to find good pizza here. It's just really hard to find.
That's why I started making my own pizza, because
that's awesome.
My brother-in-law, my sister's husband, he was always going off about how California pizza isn't any good and how East Coast pizza is so much better. And I was going on YouTube trying to find New York pizza recipes and reading up, what kind of flour they use and what were the techniques and all that. And that's why I got so good, because I just followed all those New York pizza recipes from New York pizza chefs and New York pizzerias. Oh, my nephew's here, Tommy. What's up, Tommy? He's Bazuni, Bro Gaming. He says, Bashar, can you make a pizza cooking show? I'd watch it. Your pizza is delicious. Thank you. He loves my pizza. And Corey's a big Zachary's Pizza fan. And Corey said something about the casino I was at. It was the Matrix. You're right. I was at the Matrix Casino when I saw the pick of the 6th game. And so, hey, I really appreciate my nephew, my sister in the chat. And I said, I promised everybody for the 49ers song that I did. And we're going to do it because it's not every day I go on YouTube, or it's not every day I talk about the 49ers with my friends or my family, and I'm saying, hey, we have a chance to be in the Super Bowl if we win on Sunday. How often does that happen, right? You know, we have a chance to make some history this Sunday, and therefore I'm going to be proactive, and I'm going to role play as if we won, as if we made the game-winning touchdown on Sunday, you know, to lead us to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to share my screen, play this little soundbite, and soundbite's going to lead to a song, and it's as if we're celebrating. So you and I, we're going to celebrate and dance and do what we got to do while the song's playing. So get ready, guys. Celebrate with us at home. Dance at home if you want. You know, because we need this proactive energy to get this W on Sunday, and it's going to get lit in Levi's Stadium. No, sorry, Levi's South, that is, SoFi Stadium. And I made references to that in the song. And it is my voice. I normally don't talk like E40, but when I am pretending to rap or trying to rap, I do sound like E40. Right? Bang, bang, 90 gang. So if you guys are ready, okay, here we go. David Manu says, here we go, our 17th NFC Championship game. Let's go. And my sister says, yes, pizza. All right, she's still talking about pizza. So, okay. All right, guys, the music's going to start pumping. We're going to celebrate as if we scored the game-winning touchdown, and the music's going to start pumping. Hope you guys are ready. Going to share my screen in just a second. Hang on. I do this for you guys. I'm telling you right now. You know, we're gonna get lit. We're gonna get hyphy, as they say in the Bay Area. That's what we say in the Bay Area, John. We get hyphy. It means like you get hyperactive, or yeah, it's an E40 term. Yeah, it happened like, I think the word got popular like in 2004, 2005. All right, guys, here we go.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Faithful to the black.
Who's
Going to the game? Who's going to the game?
Y'all
Go to the game. I'm going to the game. Who's going to the game? Who's going to the game? Y'all going to the game?
I'm going to the game. Who's going to the game? What's good? I know we'll be popping up in your neighborhood. Them 49ers gonna punch y'all in the mouth. They're gonna rename SoFi Stadium to
Levi's South.
Them LA Rams don't stand a chance, cause Deebo Samuel scored touchdowns and
do the hyphy dance.
You never sell out your stadium cause you got no fans. At the end of the day, you're the same old
sorry ass
Rams.
Rams.
Our defense is lit and it always be cracking, just like Green Bay. Win us to the rental pack. We're taking the lead by storm, and y'all have been blinded. Nobody rests the squad better. The
49er minded.
We'll have it confused. We'll make it linebackers frozen. Cause Kyle Shanahan always draws players over. He's draining Fred Warner. We're top 5 D'Amico to make a son quarterback play like
Uncle Rico. Who's going to the game? Who's going to the game?
Y'all going to the game? I'm going to the game.
Who's going to the game? Not me, I wish it
Going
was.
to the game. Y'all
Yeah.
going to the game?
That's it. The San Francisco 49ers this Sunday against the LA Rams. NFC Championship game. If you're not excited by now, I don't know what's wrong with you. I'm pumped up. We all got to be pumped up for this. We got to win this game so we go to the Super Bowl and bring home number 6, baby. We got to do this. So my sister said Tommy's dancing. That's funny. That's hilarious, man. So that's your first time hearing the song, John.
That was awesome, bro. That's a great jam. I love it, man. I love it. That's
I'll
awesome.
tag you on my
Right.
Twitter if you
Love
want to
it.
share it. If you want to share
Yeah,
it. So
for sure. I'll share it.
okay. So yeah. So hey, once again, I want to say shout out to everybody in the chat. This has like been one of the funnest shows I've ever done. You guys are awesome. You know, I can't explain more how much I love, how much everybody in the chat just makes this show more enjoyable. You guys have awesome comments, awesome questions. It's just, you know, as long as my guests are always awesome, right? You know, I bring on the best guests. I got John V, a great person to talk 49ers with, so passionate. And let's see, we got another 49er.
Rita says she was paid.
I paid you, huh? I paid you? Okay. Yeah, I did, right? You might be right. Okay, so we got Bay Area Baller 18. Before we go, he's kind of late. You're kind of late to the party, bro. I don't know how long you've been watching, but I just saw you in the chat now. He said, I just heard, yo, Bashar, I just heard your boy Dave Canal's new 49er rap. Shit is lit. I haven't heard his new song. I know he put out a new song, and I have had him on my show before. Dave Canal, he also used to go by the name Heat. Excellent 49er rapper. The guy is awesome. A great guy. I met him at one of the tailgates once. Had him on here once. Awesome dude. I can't say enough about him. And subscribe to Bay Area Baller 18's channel. He's a great 49er YouTube content creator. You guys might know him from the Grant Cone show, the Cone Phone. And who else do we have here before I say goodbye? We got Low the Truth just says content is fire. Shout out to John V. Sub to your channel. Yeah, subscribe to John V's channel. And John V, go ahead. You have the floor. You have the floor to talk about your channel, what you guys have in store, and what you guys do. Do it one more time for those who missed it earlier.
For those of you that missed it, so it's two of my best friends and I. There's three of us on the panel, a Browns fan, a Bills fan, and myself, a 49ers fan. We just we talk about our respective teams, and we cover the rest of the NFL. We do basketball. We talk baseball. We'll be doing the upcoming Olympics. We just cover all things sports, and we called it the Locker Room Rant because we get into it. Like we argue. We argue in person. So like we're sitting at a table, we're going at it. People are like, yo, you guys can make a show out of this. Like you guys attack each other, but you love each other. So we did. We made a show of it. You know, I go at my boys and they go back at me and we go back and forth. And we rant. I rant about Jimmy and all the things that the 49ers are doing wrong at the beginning of the season. My friend Tony is kind of, you know, he's taking a breather right now because his Josh Allen and the Bills took a big L, man. They sure did. They sure did. And we were all rallying behind the Bills, man. We wanted to see that. So he's kind of just like, you know, licking his wounds right now and chilling out, laying low. And my friend Nick, you know, he's a Browns fan. So he's been sitting at home watching everybody else celebrate and have a good season because he's got his teams are lame. You know, the Baker Mayfield just basically just cost them their season and a number of other things. So it's called the Locker Room Rant, family, and we chop it up and we have a good time doing it.
Okay. So great having you on. Great having you on, man. You're an awesome guest. I have amazing guests. I always feel like each guest tops the other guests from time to time, and you're up there with the greats that I've had on here.
Oh man, I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, thank you, man. We can definitely do this again. I'll have you on again in the future. I'd love to have you on.
My man, all you got to do is send me a message. Let me know. I sub to the channel. I will support the channel. I'll tune in. You'll see me in the chat, bro. Hey man, I've had a great time. I'll put you on my show. I'll bring you in. I'm going to promote your channel. I try to get on there and promote everyone that I can. You know, we've only been doing it for a short amount of time. So, you know, we're relatively new to the scene, but I mean, I try to pump up anybody that I know that's doing content. It's time consuming and, you know, you got a great thing going here, man. And I'm impressed. You got a great chat. These guys are awesome.
I know. I'm very blessed. I don't have that many subscribers, but for some reason, my chat is one of the better ones I've seen for whatever reason. And speaking of the chat, my nephew Tommy is reminding me. He's got a gaming channel. He's called Bazoonie Bros Gaming. He's 12 years old. He's a much better gamer than I am, even though I have a whole lot more experience under my belt in terms of playing video games. But this guy is a genius when it comes to video games. I think he wants to make his own video games when he becomes an adult, and, you know, more power to Tommy. He's an awesome nephew, and I love him so much. And he's just now becoming a Niner fan too, which is even better. You know, hey, after all these years, love it. I think I'm missing one more guy before I end the show and get the show on the road. I don't want to miss anybody. We got Shardal from SG Sports Talk Channel. He's a Cone Phone legend on the Grant Cone Show. Says, hey, Bashar. Shout out to you. Caesar Aguirre from Twitter says, what's up? 49er minded, and I pretty much got everybody. Okay, again, thank you, John. I can't say it enough times. we're gonna wrap the show up. We're gonna wrap it up. Let me just pop this comment. Oh, you're welcome, bro.
Let's go, you guys.
This is the NFC Championship game. Let's go, baby. And I want to hear that Greg Papa touchdown call multiple times. Jimmy, you got to throw some touchdowns this game. We got to score some touchdowns. Elijah Mitchell's got to run a few in. Whoever, just get a pick six, do whatever. Let's get the stadium lit. Levi South, SoFi Stadium. It's going to be, I'm assuming probably 70% 49er fans. And this is what I want to hear, you know, multiple times during the game. Touchdown, San Francisco. Again, thank you, John. Thank you, the chat. Again, thanks to everybody who's watching 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. Keep repping those 49ers and stay 49er minded. NFC Championship game, let's go to the bowl. Peace.
Come on, 49er faithful, let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
We gotta do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49er mind. It's 49er mind.
We gotta get that brick by brick real quick.
49er mind.
Yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49er mind.
We from the Bay.
49er mind.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49er mind.
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49er mind.